So I've been practicing with the digital teleconverter, so you can zoom in on it. The rest of these pictures, the only zooming you'll see is if I zoom in and zoom out on the 40 to 150. Everything else I left alone. This is the 40 millimeter Canon EF on the speed booster. Excellent. It's a full frame lens, 35 millimeter on the micro four thirds camera with the speed booster adapter from Metabones. But as I scroll down, you can see how the pictures are sharp, they're clear. I think it works a little bit quicker than the regular lenses. So I was pretty impressed. You can see about two birds way high, fine, three. You see three of them. Been beautiful early July, but it's about 96, 97. Finished my fence on the outside. Now I have to work on the inside. I'll use a little turpentine, whatever, to remove the paint from the hinges. But this should last me 10 years like the last fence. And as you can see, the fence that I do, okay, I give it 2 coats. You compare it to the fence that was put up and it was just sprayed on. It didn't last long, okay? So my fence lasted for 10 years and it looked much better than this part on the back part. And it started at the same time because wind came down and knocked down the fence. So, but you see, this is an excellent lens, Canon EF on the micro four thirds. Look at that. You can get close up. You can get a little blurry background since it's full frame lens. And this is from the DSLR days, okay? The EF mount. It's not an RF. But as you can see, and I put 2 coats on, a second coat on this one, so it looks a lot better. And this fence was done about the same time. But I think they did a better job. I think they didn't spray paint it this time. But you can see when you get a 10-year type of stain compared to like a 3 to 5 year, it's quite a difference. And then I show this distortion a little bit on the 45. That's where you use the digital teleconverter and then you zoom out. This is the now the 20 millimeter f1.4. So you see more light. Now, when I want to show you the difference, this is a different white balance right here. This is kind of like incandescent. But you see everything is sharp, clear. Now this is automatic white balance. And you see the sky is not blue. It's what you actually see at night. And you can see where the wind was blowing right here. So it's a little blurry. The OM-3 is not a stack sensor, I believe. It's just a BSI. But still, with the flare of the light, a little flaring right here, ghosting. But look at that. Look how clear the stars are in the hospital. And this is, I did a little bit more on the inside. But you see, that 1.4 is an excellent lens. That 20 millimeter OM system. 1.4 does make a difference to a 1.7. And I don't know why I did two shots there, but oh, okay. So I brought up the light, shutter speed. I was doing some testing now. She was in the dark and I brightened it up a little bit. Try to do him, it didn't do too well. Then I went outside. And you see, now on the left, on the inside, on my fence right there, that's a 3-year stain, okay? And it was a natural kind of translucent cedar. It did not take compared to the 10-year that I put on when I ran out of this stuff. This is natural cedar. This was a little extra umph. So this is the 10-year, okay? This is like 3 to 5 year. So this is kind of like, this is done a little bit better than my backdoor neighbors. But this is what I'm going to be working on for the next week, 2 weeks, okay, to finish this up. I got a lot of stain to do. Here's my, I think I'm still on. Yeah, I'm still on a 20 millimeter f1.4. But look at that. Beautiful pictures. It's already at a 2x crop. I can, bring it in a little bit, but it's sharp. It's clear. I love it. And you see down there, one way up there. I'm liking this system. Very light. Yeah. Still the 20 millimeter. Now, I believe, yeah, this is the F4, all at F4, the 4150, okay? And let me get rid of that. Wait a minute. There we go. Now, this is the lens I picked up today. And I zoomed in. Now you see, there's a web right here. And of course you can't see it unless you zoom in. Previous picture, same one. This is at 40 millimeters, which is like an 80 millimeter equivalent. And that's 150 millimeters, a 300 millimeter equivalent at f4. And you see, you can still get a little bokeh in the back. Not as good as the full frame or even an APS-C, but still, it looks good. And look how sharp the glass is. It's hard to do it on a full frame, even when you crop in on A7CR or on the Z8. Look at this. You can see what's behind through the glass. And you see, everything is sharp, clear. And I was pointing it right here. So see, it kind of blurred out the fence. On the full frame, you do a spot, and this turns out quick or sharper than the one that I have. And this is like at an 80 millimeter equivalent, okay? So I see I'm zooming in, zooming out. That's at 40 millimeters. That's at 150 millimeters. This is why I got the lens. I had the other one, which was silver, which I did an unboxing about 2 or 3 days ago. It was sharp and clear. It was what I call a nifty plastic classic. And it's a 3.5 to 5.6. The pictures from that were excellent too. So if you don't want to pay extra money, I think that one was about 180 bucks, 170 bucks. This lens right here was about 850. Usually it sells for 1200. Okay. But you see, zooming in and out. And this is at 40 millimeters. Okay. 150. And zooming in my dog. Now, since it's not a stacked sensor, my dog moves. You can see it's kind of blurry a little bit, but it does blur the bokeh, the bokeh in the background when you have the compression on, like at 150 millimeters. You can get that blurry look. And then he's sniffing. And I went to the front yard. So you see, 150 millimeters. And the reason why I'm doing this, I am looking at the 300 millimeter f4 on the OM system. They do have a used one for about 2,200 bucks. I don't know. That's an f4. This is an f4. So even with the zoom, this is that 300 millimeter will be a 600 millimeter. Okay. I do have a 600 millimeter f4 for the Nikon. And, that's big and heavy. So anyway, Micro Four Thirds are smaller. And you see, by zooming in, you can get the whole thing in. And 40 millimeters on the stop sign, 150. Look how everything is sharp, crystal clear. And I like that. And I just get closer if I want a little bokeh in the background. But look at that. That one at 40 millimeters, same one at 150. That's what I'm talking about. Beautiful, gorgeous. And this is from the front yard, okay? So I went 150 millimeters to my neighbor's backyard where you saw the first flowers when I went in the backyard. Which is excellent pictures. Look at that, the clouds, gorgeous, sharp. Now, this is blurry, but I was focusing on the cloud. So the cloud is sharper than here, okay? It has a problem now with a high contrast. Well, what I mean is kind of like a bright background. So I have to focus on something else and then bring it up. And sometimes I have to shoot quick before the focusing changes. But you can see this. Look at that. That's a web down there. It could be a bug, a spider. It could be a mosquito. You never know. But you can see the webs. And you notice you don't see any green on here anymore. I cleaned it up a little bit, but. And then the clouds are coming in, but no rain. All right, it's not big enough, but it did darken up. It does keep the place cooler. So instead of the high 90s, it was in the low 90s. But San Antonio is pretty large. So you can go in one part and get like 99, go to another part and it's like 93, 92. So you see, I love the blue, the white, everything's sharp. different colors. You see, just as this is about an hour before sunset. So this is like at 7 o'clock, 7:30. But look at that, just gorgeous. Where that's kind of like a reddish white, pink, and then this is dark black. But you can see different layers of the clouds. You know, right here. So you do get a pretty good contrast using this camera. And this is from a zoom lens, folks. Look at that. Gorgeous. And then I was at the cemetery, 40, 150. Look how sharp everything is. Sharp and clear. The graves. Zoom in, you can read. It's just unreal. And they just had a burial. That was about a month ago. This was recent, right there. As you see, you zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, and wider field. Zoom in again. You can even read this. That's how good it is. And that's it. Great lenses, micro four thirds. You can see that these lenses are all smaller than my hand. If I put it out, it'll be a little bit taller than my hand, right? But, and that's with the lens hood, okay? If I take it off, it'll be about the size of my hand, you know, fully out. So great lenses. I'm happy I got the system. Let me know what you think. If I turn around, you can see the camera. There you go. That's what you're looking at. And then the camera's up there. We've got a new tripod for the down. It's the newer one, but, or newer, Neewer. So I like it a lot better than the big one that I had. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Stay safe, keep smiling, and I'll see you next time. Bye, folks. Have a wonderful day.